Excellent. Okay. Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to see you here this evening. My name is Jana Jorgensen, and I am a Diamond in Valentis, and I'm here because of my fabulous team. And I have some incredible leaders that are far better than I am now. So they, I'm learning from them. They're people who have become my mentors and coaches. And one of them being Nanette, one of them being Eileen, one of them being Brian Macarthur. And of course, we have Dr. Ahrens with us. So this is super exciting. I'm going to introduce you to a gentleman who has been with my team since the beginning when we started with the old company, and Dr. Ahrens was with us with his fabulous product called Emulin. That is the product that I was telling you about that changed thousands of people's lives. So it was a privilege to be able to share that product with people. But this gentleman lives on the other side of the coast of Canada. I'm on Vancouver Island. He's on Prince Edward Island. So we are just miles apart. We're that big hug, all across the country. And it's super exciting to work with Brian because he has become not only one of the great leaders in our team, but also a very good friend of mine. And I love him dearly. And he is going to tell you a little bit about himself, and then he is going to introduce Dr. Ahrens. So Brian Macarthur, I turn it over to you.
Thank you very much, Jana. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? Good. I've been in with Jana now for about 2.5 years, and have learned an awful lot about everything. And also when Dr. Ahrens come on the scene with his products. But even before I get to that, I just want to say hello to everybody that's on the call tonight. And also, I hope everybody had a great Easter and had lots to eat like I did. And I know Ron did. And, and everything. It's just, a great time of the year. Is Dr. Ahrens on, or did we lose him again? Do you know, Jana?
Yeah, I'm here, right here.
Oh, okay, great. You blacked out there, Doc. So, but anyway, for all of you that do not know Dr. J, in the last little over a year, I've really come to know him a lot better. He is a fantastic person. One of the nicest guys that I have ever met, with the extreme knowledge that he has and what he has done with his products. And also, he has a natural way of explaining things that very few people that I've ever come across that have been able to do. He comes down to my level, which is a big step in more ways than one. He's about 6 foot and I'm about 5'6". So it's, coming down the elevator. But he can explain his products and what they do, where when he's finished with the explanation, we understand what he has said. And I just want to just thank you so much. Your products are big time with me. I'm a type 2 diabetic, and I have had extreme success with his products. And when I go to my doctor this week, we're going to start talking about coming off my Emulin. And I've been on that for about 15 years. So we'll know more within the next 10 days or so. One thing also that you have to understand with Dr. J, he's got a wicked sense of humor. He is priceless. And it's one of the driest, and it's a joy to be around him when he's talking in small groups and everything, because he is just the ultimate person, big time. There's only one thing that I would really like him to concentrate for the next year, and that's coming up for a product that can grow hair, because I need it. I see Dr. J nodding. And I have a niece here on the island. She is 9 years old, and through stress and a number of other things, about 9 months ago, she lost her full head of hair, and she has to wear a wig at 9 years old. And it's pretty hard on her. But anyway, so that is my story in regards to Dr. Ahrens. And as I say again, when you get to meet this guy in person, he is extraordinary. And that is all I can really have to say about him. Thanks, Doc, very much.
Well, I thank you a lot. I know everybody's on mute, so I really can't hear their applause. So that's kind of disappointing. It's only me. So oh, okay. So, you know, I want to talk about. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. So I want to talk about that hair loss, because people always say, "Doctor, heal yourself. Why haven't you cured baldness?" And there's a good reason for that, because many of you know the scientific fact that when in your middle age and your hair starts to turn gray. Well, that's because as you get older, the hair roots grow deeper into your head, actually, and when they hit brain, they turn gray. And if they hit nothing, they just fall out. So that's what's going on with me. I apparently don't have a lot of resources up there. So you cannot overcome those kind of issues. Just face it. Actually, I remember when most people here about my age, you guys remember Hugh Hefner, don't you? I always wondered as a kid why in the world this guy was bald, and my mother just said, well, he just looks really hot. So, I mean, I must actually, I just shave. So we're here to talk about 24/7. And I like that talk because this is a great product. We are so excited about it. We make formulations all the time. We're doing a formulation right now for Coke. And we made this formulation Emulin to help diabetics. And now we were asked to make a weight loss management product by Valentis, by Dave Jordan. And yeah, we can do those things. So we understand carbohydrate metabolism. That means how sugar works inside your body, how it's digested and absorbed. And we put our brains together. Of course, the other guys in the company that have hair, I just signed the checks. So the guys with hair got together and they came up with a formula, and it just has performed remarkably well. I mean, past my own expectations. As I was putting this product together, there are a lot of weight loss management products on the market. I think all of you will agree with that. You see them everywhere, from diets and special meals, slim fast and shakes, and even our own coffee product. There's a lot of stuff on the market. So what was this going to be do? And actually, Jana Jorgensen came to me when I was getting finished with the formulation. She said, well, is this stuff going to work? I said, well, I don't know how good it'll work, but I did guarantee her it would work at least as good as anything else on the market. That I could guarantee that. A product that could complement the weight loss coffee, it would complement it, it would fit together, and together they would be an exemplary product. Or it could be taken by itself on its own for people that did not want to consume coffee, or they couldn't do it for one reason or the other. That was the assignment. Make a weight management product that works with the coffee or works by itself. And so, as Jana said, is it going to work? I said, well, yes, it will work as good as anything else on the market. I was confident of that. And good gracious, it worked not only as good, but tremendously better than anything on the market. I mean, anything. And everyone sees all these claims about weight management, and this stuff's remarkable, as you've heard for the last several weeks and into even tonight. So what is it? What is so remarkable about 24/7? Well, it starts out by recognizing that the body works differently during the day than it does at the nighttime. You know, not only are you awake in the day and asleep in the night, most of us, but your body inside works differently. The food that you ate at lunch or breakfast is digested a little differently than the supper that you ate that is being digested while you're sleeping. But also you have a constant energy demand. Your body does not shut off at night. And fat inside your body does not just go to a cell and stay in your fat tissue. Sugar and fat don't just go stick in your belly. They're always moving, cycling in and out. Sugar and fat is going into storage, staying there for a while, and coming out. It's the net difference that's important. How much is going out versus how much is going in. See that? It's not just going in and then coming out. It's always moving, but what you have to regulate is how much the net difference, how much is more going out. And it goes in and out differently during the night than it does during the day. Now, what does that mean to you? Number one, you guys need to know we understand what's going on here. We're not just throwing products together. We understand human physiology, and every bit of our work is based on very strong scientific principles and work in clinics. So we know what's going on. So we have an AM PM that reflects that. Your body processes sugars and fats differently during the day and the night, and we have different ingredients in the day and the night. Also, why do you gain weight? It's not just because you ate too much. That's silly. Then you just stop eating. Well, you can't stop eating. Why? Things like anxiety. That's the truth. Stress. Everyone's heard about the enzyme called cortisol, called the stress hormone. You've got to regulate that. Because your body, when you're under stress, your body is saying, look, I need to be prepared. Something bad is going to happen. Maybe there's a storm coming. You need to think about in the 10,000 years ago, before we had internet. We were just almost like animals. We had to rely on our instincts. So when you have stress, your body wants to load up with food. Take every little ounce of calories and store it as fat. So if there's stress in your body, you're going to gain weight. So we have some things in there, natural plant molecules that are shown to just alleviate distress without being a depressant. This is just known products that alleviate the stress, and you'll take on less weight. Also, we block the carbohydrates, the sugars, from getting into your body. Not all of them. As I've said many times, if you blocked all the carbs, the sugars that got from your stomach into your blood, they'd go on into your intestines, and those little microbes down there would eat it, would make a bunch of gas, and you'd fart yourself to death. So we don't want that to happen. So we just block some of them. And then we also do that at nighttime. This is why it's called carb blocker. But its main function is to manage the whole system, day and night, day versus night. And then in the nighttime, we have melatonin, which will help you sleep. And if you do not have a good night's sleep, you're going to gain weight. Back to the body going into stress. So that's what 24/7 is. It's based on sound science, physiology. Personally, that's my doctorate. I'm a physiologist. That means the study of life's chemistry, by the way. Probably you now know that, and my mother, so that's it. Physiology, I'm a research physiologist. 24/7, it's remarkable. So with that, I will turn it over to you, Jana, I guess, and let me know what's happening.
Excellent. Thank you, Dr. Ahrens. That's great. I'm sure everyone learned a little bit more again tonight, and that's what we find with Dr. Ahrens. Every time we listen to him, we just take in a little bit more information and understand things a little bit better. So that's so awesome. We have had some amazing success with 24/7. About 30 of us were on a beta test trial prior to going to Las Vegas, and we all lost not only just pounds, but a lot of fat, which was really nice in areas that are very difficult to lose it, especially for us girls. And we just were so thrilled and so excited. And, you know, we were always talking to each other and finding out what was happening. And then an additional thing happened when Eileen and I were in Las Vegas. She came in and she had these little shorts on, and I said, wow, your legs look so great, Eileen. And she goes, yeah, they're just like, they feel like they're tightening up. And lo and behold, she looks in the long mirror in the bathroom because I was getting ready. We were sitting there talking, and she looks and she goes, oh, the cellulite's gone on the back of my legs. And I said, oh, well, mine isn't. She said, well, let me see. And I had this long beach dress kind of over my bathing suit, lifted it up, and she goes, you don't have any either. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. So we found some side effects from 24/7 that were amazing. So, you know, losing fat, that dimply fat, that's, you know, the cellulite. And so it disappears. And then the skin is smoothing as well. We're finding that it's tightening a little bit. And really, I think maybe Dr. Ahrens could explain that a little bit better later on. But at this point, what I'd like to do is bring on a couple of people to share their testimonials. One of them is Michelle Ventura, our fantastic leader out of Michigan and or Minnesota. Michelle, are you there? You can unmute yourself.
Okay, hang on. I unmuted. Let me figure out how to do the video. There we go.
We're gonna hear
See me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm on my iPad, so I apologize. So I came on because I was one of the people, couple of us were having some sleep issues originally with the PM. And after Dr. Joe had said, well, he had talked about it that 1 week, you know, maybe take a half a caplet for weight, you know, like if you're a child, maybe take a half caplet or a quarter caplet. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to take a half and see what happens. And I tolerated it fine the first night, I tolerated it fine the second night. So then I took one, and then I did that a couple more nights. And so if anybody has any side effects that are not being talked about or you're unsure about, try having the dose. If that's not enough, quarter the dose. So the caplets are super easy. You just kind of open them up a little bit, and you kind of pour them back and forth until you get, you know, what looks like about a half and half. And let me tell you, once my body settled in, it's awesome, Dr. Ahrens. It's awesome. I sleep so well. I'm menopausal, so trust me, you don't always sleep well. I know that some of the other women have been talking about that also. But I did want to mention that I am forever grateful to Dr. Joe, because I was introduced to his Emulin 2.5 years ago, just before Christmas. And I had gone on an overseas trip. I was gone for a couple weeks. It was very, very, very long flight, and I had severe pain. I had 2 torn meniscus. I had hip problems, hip pains, back pain. The surgeons had said, oh, well, you know, you're going to have knee replacement. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to have knee replacement. So I went on Celebrex and muscle relaxants, and that's how I survived the plane ride and all the touring that we did. And I came back, and my massage therapist had like dropped all this weight while I was gone in the month that I had seen her prior. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what did you do? And she said, well, I'm on this amazing product. It totally eliminates my inflammation. I think a lot of my weight that I was carrying was inflammation in my body. And I'm like, holy buckets, if that is doing that to you and reducing that kind of, I gotta have some. I gotta have some, because my knees, I'm gonna get a handicap parking thing soon. I got my order of Emulin 3 days before Christmas. I started it, and on Christmas Day, I was no longer taking Celebrex or any of the muscle relaxants. And I've never gone back. Never gone back. My knees feel amazing, and I don't have back pain. I don't have, all that inflammation is all so well managed. So, I mean, when people hear about life-changing effects from something that is an all natural supplement, that our diets, I mean, God put flavonoids in our foods for a reason, and we just have, we really like sweet fruits and vegetables, and so the commercial producers produce sweeter fruits and vegetables, and so we have more inflammation in our bodies. And tell you what, it's been a miracle. And I will share that, back to the 24/7. I did a motorcycle ride this weekend, and it was beautiful. So we just had t-shirts on, and I took a picture, and I'm kind of craning and doing kind of the selfie thing, and Jana goes, "Oh, that's a cute picture." I said, "Look at my chest, Jana, my décolleté. It has no wrinkles on it." So that's my story. Oh, and I just will tell you, Jana, yesterday it was really hot, so I changed from church, and I put on a pair of board shorts that I had worn last summer that were so tight that I was going to throw them away at the end of summer. And I was like, yeah, I'm just getting fatter. I'm just going to have to buy the next size up. And I thought, well, I'm just going to throw them on and just see if I can button them. Oh my gosh, they were hanging. They were like hanging off my body. I was so excited. I almost took a picture and showed it to you. So anyway, I'll let the next person back, okay?
Thank you, Michelle. Yeah, it's great when you feel that good, especially when you're doing something and you're intending to see a result. So that's just fabulous. And yes, that décolleté looks just fabulous. So the next person I'd like to invite on with a testimony is our fabulous RN from Duncan, British Columbia on Vancouver Island, Eileen Deerham. Eileen, would you share your testimony and maybe something about your son as well?
Hi, everyone. Yeah, I'll start with the 24/7. Thank you again, Dr. Joe. 24/7 is absolutely amazing. My sleep has improved since being on the product. And if I wake up during the night, I wake up, have my drink of water, and go right back to sleep. It's solid. Wake up before the alarm goes off in the morning and ready to go for the day. And what's surprising is that energy is sustained throughout the day. I'm not having any of those lows, like after the lunchtime lows that you would get after you have something to eat. And but when I'm tired at night, I crawl into bed and I go right to sleep. There's none of that difficulty, turning things off in my head. And it became pretty clear to me that had a fairly big impact, because just when we were in Vegas, I found out my brother was not well. And on top of it, my son was really struggling. And I'll go into my son's story in a minute. And then I came back from Vegas, and I was basically in charge in my workplace. And so I was managing my caseload, which is usually 40. And for some reason, with the lack of staff, it's gone up to 92. And this is 92 seniors with mental health issues, particularly dementia and behaviors of dementia. So extremely difficult client load. And then the stress of managing overseeing everything. And I felt so even all the way through that, even, cool. Everyone was like, you must be getting frazzled. And I'm like, I'm good. I felt good. And I can only say that in the past when I've done that role, I haven't slept at night, and I didn't miss a wink of sleep. And I can say in my heart of all hearts, it was the 24/7 that kept me going through that. Plus the Emulin. The Emulin is something that I will never go off of. And my partner, he's lost 6 pounds on the 24/7. He has also said he's got improved sleep, and his energy is sustained through the day. And he says he actually now gets an energy burst between 4 and 5, which was a low time for him in the day. And he feels like he can go the whole day and not. And he's turned away from eating treats at night. Like he went to get the bag of chips the other night, and he's like, yeah, it isn't for me anymore. So that part is awesome. To go to my son, who isn't on the 24/7, but he is on Emulin and has been for 2.5 years. He's 22 years old, and he's under the spectrum. He was diagnosed with autism around 7, but I knew from a very early age he was having some neurological struggles. And he's been on the Emulin for 2.5 years. We ran out not that long ago, and he was off the Emulin for about 10 days. And we were having some extreme behaviors. He was aggressive towards his caregivers. He was actually being asked not to go to the program that I and another parent had started for him, because there was no programs in the Cowichan Valley that he could attend. And I was starting to feel panicky, yet I still had that sustained feeling where I wasn't stressing about it overnight, but I was feeling like, what am I going to do? And the Emulin came in, and we got him back on it. I upped the dose to 4 a day, and we kept that going. And everyone is saying he is a changed kid. They cannot believe that this is the same individual who was cursing and swearing at them, calling them terrible names, raising a fist, threatening to hit them. And now he is back in that program, being the leader that he's been for the last 2 years. And the only thing that changed was the Emulin. And we had one more glimpse of this in January, when my nephew, who is one of his caregivers, didn't realize he was to be taking the white bottle pills. And so he didn't get it for a few days, and he became very aggressive. And I can honestly say now, without a doubt, it's the Emulin that made the difference. In the past, we questioned, was it the move to the trailer and the new caregivers and having consistency in his life? He's had all that. Nothing else has changed, except he lost the Emulin for about a 2-week period, and he is back, and he is absolutely amazing. And I am so proud of him that he is actually saying that it's the Emulin now that has made the difference for him. And yeah, it's just mind-boggling. So those are my stories, and I back this man 110%. I believe in his science. Inflammation is so incredibly detrimental to all of us, and Dr. Joe's flavonoids will help us.
Thank you, Eileen. I know your stories are just so remarkable. And Eileen's son's special doctor that he goes to literally now sends her patients to Eileen to get Emulin for her patients. That's just amazing to me. That's an achievement, Eileen. You know, you really...
Yeah, she actually put her son on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing story. Thank you so much. So we have some questions, Dr. Ahrens, and I'll just start right at the beginning. Not too many, because we've answered a lot of them with your talk and with all of the testimonies right now. But we do have one. Can you explain how the skin tightening and the cellulite loss work because of the 24/7?
Well, we thought about that a little bit. Remember, those guys that had hair came to me and said, if everyone loses a bunch of weight, what are they going to do with all this extra skin? And so we thought about a couple of the items in there that does it doesn't actually cause skin tightening, but it rebalances your body so that there is a more even distribution of the fats and oils and water in your skin. And so it does appear to tighten up, I guess, layman's terms, it does tighten because, you lose a lot of weight and you're still walking around in a big flabby birthday suit. That wouldn't be very fun. So we have made this product that it will also tighten skin somewhat. I want to talk just a moment. I'm really just 20 seconds on what we call about balancing. We see, okay, you're rebalancing your body. Well, your body is always balanced, but the balance point might be off. And that speaks to people that take the 24/7. They might not sleep well at first. It's just like one day I woke up and I had a crick in my neck, and my neck was over like that. And I woke up and I went to a doctor and said, look, I've got a problem here. And so he worked on me. I went to school and I felt real well, and my head was straight. And then I realized, wait a second, he hasn't done anything. It just straightened my head up and my shoulder's still hooked up here. I went to another doctor and he finally got that muscle spasm going. But you know what? When he did that, that really hurt. When I got loose there, boy, it really hurt. And that's really what happens is your body is balanced and set, but it might be in the wrong place. And this product was trying to get you to the balance point that you should be normally. And your whole digestion will change, the way you handle fats and sugars in your stomach. And then you've got an interaction in these microbes in your stomach and in your small intestine, in your guts. We live in a symbiotic relationship with them. And as you change your diet, as your diet gets better, that whole crowd of microbes in your gut is going to change. Those microbes don't just help you produce food, but they also put out chemicals that even affect your mood and your sleep. So you have disrupted that balance and moved it where it should be, but it could be for the first few days, you're messed up and you can't sleep. So that's why I've said cut back, either completely stop and then add in a half and then add in 1 and then get up to the 2, and you'll be fine. But sometimes if you take them right away, you've just messed up the herd of microbes and they start putting out different chemicals, and new ones come in and take the place of the old, and it upsets your body. It upsets your sleep. Just like that crick in my neck. When I finally got my neck, it hurt. But with a couple of days, I got back to where I should be. I didn't want to go back like that just because it didn't hurt anymore. So it took a while. It took a few days to get, and cramps are also a chemical reaction in your muscles. So it just takes a while. The other thing I want to talk about is just a bit about the caffeine. So we are going to have 2 products. We're going to have a caffeine and a caffeine-free for those that want caffeine and those don't. I mistakenly thought that our first product coming out was the caffeine-free, and it's not. This one has caffeine. Less than the amount for a cup of coffee. So if you take, in each capsule of the AM, there is 90 milligrams 95 milligrams of caffeine. So 2 capsules has close to 200. And 200 is right under a full cup of coffee. So if you took a capsule at noon, it would be like taking half a cup of coffee. And there can be people that are sensitive to caffeine even by taking caffeine at noon. But what I would tell people is that if you are having trouble, you think that it might be caused of the caffeine, first of all, don't take that second AM capsule past noon. If that still gives you trouble, take both capsules at breakfast time. That'll do it. As far as the PM, there's no caffeine in the PM at all. That coffee extract in the PM is chlorogenic acid. It is not caffeine. Chlorogenic acid helps you with your sugar metabolism. It's not a stimulant. So there's no stimulants in the PM. I guess for some individuals that are caffeine sensitive, taking any of the caffeine at noon might be bothersome. And I suggest then just take the 2 in the morning. You're surely, I don't know any human that taking a half a cup of coffee's worth of caffeine at 8 or 9 in the morning whenever you have breakfast will bother you at 10 or 11 p.m. at night. Okay, that's all I wanted to say on that.
Excellent. Thank you so much. The next question is, how does the 24/7 select which carbs to block?
Well, the carbs that you are able to absorb, there's only two of them. There's fructose and glucose. So sucrose is table sugar, and table sugar is made out of two units, one glucose and one fructose, a fruit sugar and a glucose, which is blood sugar. Hooked together, that's sucrose. So you put that in your stomach and immediately they fall apart, and it's glucose and fructose that are absorbed into your stomach, and we block both of them. It's not any, if they're longer than that, you're not going to absorb them all anyhow. That's going to be digestible fiber, undigestible fiber. That's fiber if it's longer than that. And if they're not any shorter than that, there's just single units of glucose and fructose, 6 carbon sugars. And we block both of those. We block about 1/3 of them. So that's more than that. You're going to, as I said, you're going to have gastrointestinal distress. That's a nice flatulence, farts. So you don't want that. So you don't want to block any more than 1/3. And you can get carb blockers on the market that will block all of it, and you're going to be in trouble. Don't go there. No scientist made that product. So we block about 1/3. That also means that we cut about 1/3 of the calories going into your, so if you're taking a cheeseburger or a Coke or French fries, by having the 24/7 in there, it blocks about 1/3 of those calories. They just go through your digestive system, and there's not too many of them left so that it won't cause any gastrointestinal distress.
Thank you. Okay, the next question we have is, what does Dr. Ahrens recommend for people that have a disrupted sleep cycle or work nights resulting in weight gain?
Well, that's a tough one. You know, I've done my share of second shift and third shift, and that's really rough. If you have a normal nighttime shift, I would just take it opposite of whenever your wake times are. So if you have to be awake from 3:30 to midnight or midnight to 7 or 8 in the morning, make that your daytime. And then when you sleep, make that your PM time. If you have splits, you know, that's a nice word, split shifts. I don't know how anybody could do that, but I mean, that's going to be tough. But just remember, the AM will keep you awake. So don't take the AM anytime before you want to sleep. And even the PM is going to make you sleepy in a positive way, like you're supposed to be asleep. Don't take that before you have to be awake. I wouldn't take it either on a long trip. If you say, okay, I've got to go see Cousin Sue in Missouri, and we're going to leave at midnight, don't take the PM on that night. Don't do it. Don't take the PM about 3 hours before you're going to go to sleep. That's where you ought to be taking it. So whether that's 9 p.m., the second capsule. On PM, we usually take 1 capsule at dinner, and then the second capsule, don't take it 3 hours, any later than 3 hours before you go to sleep, because it needs to get into a cycle. These things work with your body. They're not artificial to just cause your body to do something. It works with your body. So we have to get it in there at the right cycle, 3 hours before you sleep. You know, all of these products, they are not something artificial that's working against you. They don't cure anything. They're products that need to be in your diet anyhow, but they're not there today. They've been refined out, or have actually either through processing or through breeding programs that are no longer in your diet. You need to have these in your diet. Everyone needs to take them. I don't even care if you don't have a weight management issue. You probably should take 24/7. And you know, we've heard people talk about the amylin, which is not available through Valentis right now, but that represents our company's core product. And there's a little bit of that technology in the 24/7. And hopefully, I'm quite sure actually that we're going to be working with Valentis to bring Emulin. I heard from Dave Jordan today that is, I can't say will happen, but he said, we're going to do it. So we got to figure out how to make that happen. And these things should be in your diet anyhow. They are just the essence of good stuff like dark berries that you should be eating anyhow. And the reason you don't sleep well, one of the reasons, and the reason you do have stress and all these other diseases is because of the diet. I'm sure of that. So it's good stuff, and everyone should take it.
Thank you. Beautiful. All right. I have a question here. Both my husband and I are having crazy dreams that we remember in detail since we started 24/7. Do you know why that might be?
Oh, no, actually, I can't tell you what that might be because there's so many things in your life. I can't figure that out unless it's under some clinical observation. And I don't think I'm going to come take notes at your bedside while you're having crazy dreams. But I know it can be very serious, but actually I don't understand anything in this product that could cause you to have any problems. And by now, we have now gotten into the hundreds and thousands of people that have now gotten on 24/7. There's no report of this. And when I put it together, there's no psychoactive anything. I could imagine that there was some environmental issue in your life, either through your lifestyle or your diet, or some environmental insult, a poison, a gas, I don't know, something that was bothering you that your body had become accustomed to over the years. And now that we have reset your balance point to the better position, it's upset your body's being comfortable with that. Just like, you know, my neck it was cricked over and moved me straight. Oh, it hurts. You know, that just now I realize I had a problem. So I think that's a possibility.
Oh, well, Dr. Ahrens, it's Kathy. And actually, I'm the one who asked that question. And they're not like bad psychedelic kind of dreams. They're like we're traveling and we miss a plane and we're running through airports and just things like that. But they're just so vivid and we're remembering them. So my husband said, make sure you ask why. So, because we've noticed it since we did the 24/7. That's all. They're not bad.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you think psychedelic dreams are good. I'm not going to get into that. Maybe you want to buy more 24/7. Who knows? But I think that might be a possibility that there's some change. Your body recognizes a change and it's trying to come to grips with what is going on, change in my environment. And so, like I say for everyone, maybe it's too abrupt of a change for you. Why don't you cut back to a capsule, just do the one at dinner, and then see if the dreams are normalized. Or, you know, who knows, maybe you want to take 5 capsules because you like those dreams or whatever's happening. But that's my recommendation.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Ahrens. So because we've mentioned Emulin, we've got a lot of really great comments here about Emulin. So I'm glad you made that announcement because everyone's like waiting with bated breath for Emulin to arrive. And although we won't be talking about that tonight, answering all the questions about Emulin, as you know, it's probably coming. Dave Jordan does know the value of this product. He certainly does know the value, and he really wants us to have it. So we'll be talking about that fairly soon. Let's see. We have a lot of good questions from Dr. Karita, and I'm thinking maybe we'll just accumulate those questions, and I'll send them to you privately, Dr. Ahrens, so that you can answer her directly.
Yeah, any questions that we can't get to tonight or any other night, let's just forward them on, and we'll make sure they do get addressed, and you can look them up through either a FAQ or through Facebook. We'll be sure to answer. I know I want to answer everybody's question. I certainly do want to do it. So we're not ignoring you, but here it already is 8:53 something, and I do apologize for coming. You can see how the light here is so bad. We actually do have a power outage, and that actually is partly a candle here. It's a crazy situation how I'm running off of hotspot on my phone, so I do have cell capability, so I hotspotted my phone, and then I've got a alternative. See, man, I am technologically astute. So I got a battery pack, driving the computer, running off of the cell phone. So that's how it is in Puerto Rico right now. You know, it really did get bad. It was a terrible hurricane a year and a half ago, and we also do not have any water today. We just have water every other day. So I will just tell you, people say it's a lie or whatever's happening here. We only have water every other day, can't flush the toilet for a day or take any showers, and we have these power failures about every third or fourth day. So all I know is it's dark, and I can't use the toilet.
Well, we're not going to keep you because I know you've got an early flight too. So we will close off for today, and we'll be back next Monday to see you all. And some of these questions we will forward on. Kathy Manson is going to take care of all the Q&A and keep it on an online list of questions so that people can read them all the time and access them and print them out if they wish. So thank you so much, Dr. Ahrens. We really appreciate you. We love you lots. And sorry you're in the dark, but you'll just have to go to bed, I guess. We will talk to you soon. And good night, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Love you. Bye.
Good night, all. Good night, Dr. Joe.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody. Thanks.
Good night, everyone.
Thank
Good
you.
night, everyone. Thanks.
Michelle.
Bye-bye, Kathy.